Hello, friends, family, passerbys, everyone. Hi, welcome to Authenticity the Hard Way. I am Asha Zalika, and I am the creator and host of Authenticity the Hard Way. And if you're new to the channel, Authenticity the Hard Way is how our harsh experiences evolve us into the next highest version of ourselves. Not negating easy, happy experiences because they're easy. There's really no growth when things are going well. When you're just floating through life and everything is great and wonderful and you're in this space and there's no need to change. When everything's good, there's no need to change. You don't put any focus or attention into your car when it's running great. It's when it breaks down. When you realize something needs to be addressed. So Authenticity the Hard Way is about those times when things start breaking down and we experience the harshness, the bad stuff that cause us to stop or force us to stop and pay attention to ourselves and the people around us, our relationships, whether that's your family relationship, your job relationship. Every relationship comes into view for inventory during the hard times. And so I simply sit with you and I share my experiences with the hope that you will be able to find your harsh, hard experience somewhere within mine, and you can glean what I've learned and find some hope, get some strength, perhaps get a better strategy, a better understanding of why these things are happening to you, and have have a face to the fact that you can absolutely make it through better. Things don't come to break us, they come to make us better. So let me be the face of the better. So I do have an experience to share. It's fresh. It's very fresh. And even now, it's just a few days old that I experienced this, and I've been still trying to navigate the emotion of it. So these last 6 months, so the end of 2025, situations and circumstances have hit me in rapid succession, increasing rapid succession from, I'd say, October, November, and December. Things just started hitting almost back to back. Eruptions in my family dynamic and eruptions in my financial dynamic and things with my body that I experience in line with what is going on with Earth's evolution. So every part of me has been hit. Back to back. And right now I'm even There's a lot of stuff going on with the corona holes in the sun and all the solar flares hitting, and so my body is really, really going through it. Yesterday I slept the majority of the day, slept all night, and woke up this morning like I've been up for 3 days. But I made a promise to myself yesterday that I would not let another day go by that I didn't share my experience, because first and foremost, authenticity the hard way was a divine revelation given to me by God, to share, to be available, to be His voice, to be the light that I've been called to be. And this is my platform. This is the platform that He has given me. This is everything that I have has been birthed out of everything that He has poured into me. And so not speaking and not sharing makes me feel like, I don't want to let Him down. I don't want to let God down. I don't want to let the universe down by not being and not doing what I have been called to be, and doing what I am supposed to be doing what I agreed to do. I took, I think it was 6 months off, something like that. I said it in my last video. I really pushed myself back so that I could show up better and stronger and more capable of communicating. But I made the decision to move forward, come what may. Even if I have to show up with my tissue. I'm showing up. So, as I said, this experience is, I'm still in the emotion of it, but I have received the revelation of it. And it's very intricate. So as I was saying, the volatile and intense experiences that have been coming in rapid succession within these last 2 months has been so to the point where I feel like Rocky Balboa when he fought Apollo Creed and when he fought the Russian. Perhaps more so the Russian. But in both scenarios, when Rocky got to the point where all he could do was stand and take the punches, that's where I am. Where I refuse to give up. And I refuse to turn around. There is a version of myself that I am trying to get to. There is a life for myself that I am trying to create. I have been trying to create for over 30 years. I still have this vision of myself, but I refuse to let her go. I refuse to turn around I refuse to stay here. There's a life that I know I can create because I understand who I am. I understand the power of my mind and my intention. I understand what is inherently mine as a birthright from the Most High, from the universe, however you want to put it. And so, understanding these things, I so understand that in order for me to get to be that woman living that life, I have to have things broken off of me. I have to go through the process of getting out of what I have created thus far. A lot of which I created by default in the past because I didn't understand how powerful I understand. I didn't fully understand the power of my own intention and the power of my own words and the power of my own sovereignty. I didn't understand these things. So a lot of stuff that I'm dealing with now is the creation of me creating by default, by simply not understanding, not knowing how to live with life. In my last video, I gave the analogy of us, our life being a movie or a play, and how my life, I am the creator of this animation called life. And God, the universe, the director and the producer, direct my play based off of my intentions and produce the characters and the situations to bring forth the animation of my own creation. So having said that and having the understanding of that, as I look back over these last few months, I can see how each one of these explosive and volatile and painful experiences have had to happen based off of where I want to go. Things have to change. Things have to be revealed in order for them to be dissolved and removed so that I can move forward. I did it. That's good. I did a reel. Now I'm talking about, I saw in my mind's eye, I saw the big, pretty hot air balloons, right? And it was so pretty. I was mesmerized by it. And it was time for the hot air balloon to lift off ground. And I'm watching it and I'm trying to figure out why it won't lift up. And then Spirit brought my attention to the fact that the hot air balloon was still tethered to the ground. It couldn't lift off because it was still anchored, tethered to the ground. Case in point, I cannot rise. I cannot rise up and float in that beautiful air balloon being me if I'm still anchored to the ground by things that no longer serve me. If I'm still showing up in roles that I have outgrown. If I am still living a life that was necessary in the past, but is disastrous in my present. In the past, it was okay because that woman that was in this situation back then had to be that woman back then. She's gone. I'm here, but yet the environment, the dynamics, the setup, everything is still existing in a past paradigm. And it's like moving into a new house and bringing nothing but your old, broken down, toe up, funky furniture. Anyway, back to this experience. So this experience, I believe, is the final. I'm not saying final as if everything is going to be okay, but this one was shocking. I could see the other ones coming because of the dynamics of the people involved's position in my lives. I could see it. This one caught me off guard. And I cannot, so I spent yesterday while I was in and out of sleep trying to figure out how to share this, because the people involved, first of all, I have to be careful. And as with anything, I have to be careful how much I share, because I am talking about other people. So because I'm not messy, I'm not a messy person, and I don't like to gossip, and this is not actually gossip, but I have to be very wise in my communication of this so as to not upset other people. Now, this is a very uncomfortable and kind of scary. I think scary might be the good word. Because I don't do disrespect. I don't want to disrespect anyone, and I don't want to hurt anyone. My do no harm to anyone is my creed. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't do disrespect. I try to keep myself and my presence in everyone's life and in front of people that come to me, that I am love. And I do not do things to intentionally hurt anyone. I have been hurt enough. The last thing that I want to do is hurt anyone else. So and I don't want to disrespect anyone. I am disrespected continually. So I would take 10 or 15 punches before I would actually want to hit anybody, if that makes sense. So while I was trying to figure out how to discuss this experience, I realized that there is no easy way. I mean, me, myself, as a human being, I really would like to dive into the details of it and the dynamic of it so that you could get the fullness and the vastness of it. And as I was laying here yesterday, I was like, well, I can't do that without going into too much detail. And so it crossed my mind, you know what, forget it, I won't even share that. And then this morning, Spirit was saying, you have to share. But understand that it is not the exact situation or the exact conversation that took place. That's not the importance of it. It's what happened afterward. That's important. So, I will say that I made a decision hold on, so I can, I just realized, okay. Sorry about that. I made a decision to ensure, I was informed that someone was going to make, or someone had made a decision about what they were going to do with themselves in their life. And this person was set on what they were going to do. And the best way for me to ensure the safety of that person is why I made the decision that I made. Because I know, been living a long time, I know that you cannot control other people. And if someone wants to do something, they're going to do it, whether I agree or not. And I had two choices. I could either make the best decision to ensure the safety of this person and the safety of our relationship, or be totally opposed, severely damage that relationship, and allow that person to be put in harm's way in such a way that could be detrimental to their health or even their existence. So I made the best decision that I could make for the protection of my relationship with this person and their protection, period. That decision was found out, and someone else, it pissed somebody else off. And that person exploded. They were so angry that if I didn't have the emotional intelligence that I have and the self-control that I have, that could have turned out and got physical and got violent. I was able to de-escalate the situation with conversation. And during the conversation, I allowed the other person to speak, and I had been trained by a plethora of experiences stemming from childhood to pay attention to people's communication. I see you while hearing, but I'm paying more attention to how you are responding, reacting during your discourse. That lets me know how I am to respond. So I'm paying attention to voice inflection. I'm paying attention to the tension that moves throughout the other person's body. I'm paying attention to the eye contact, whether it's direct eye contact, indirect eye contact, and what that direct eye contact holds, how it makes me feel. I'm paying attention to the inflections on certain words and the hand moves. I'm zoned in. And it became very apparent to me that that decision I made had nothing to do with how that person was actually feeling. And at the end of the conversation, the truth was revealed through word and through emotion. It had nothing to do with the decision that I had made, but everything to do with the underlying feelings that this other person had towards me and the person that I made the decision regarding. Period. the ground, the foundation of this is animosity, strong, strong negative emotion. And when I realized that and the conversation was over, I sat on my bed and I cried. Because it was brought to my attention years ago that these feelings existed. But because I don't believe these things. Because I always look to see the love. I always focus on the good that I see in people. I focus on the good that I see in people, and I focus on wanting to love and support everyone. Because I believe in the good, the inherent good that we all possess. And years ago, when this was brought to my attention, I inadvertently hurt the person who was telling me these things existed by defending this person, saying, no, it's not like that. You just don't understand. This is just the way they talk. But I ended up hurting that person just to come full circle and find out that, yes, there is strong negative emotion and feeling in this dynamic. And it hurts. It hurts. It hurts because there's been no communication about this, because nobody knew to talk about this until the volcano erupted. And this is me now hearing spirit whispering in my ear saying, it is what it is. Okay, move on. So, there's a lot of miscommunication in that dynamic. And because of this miscommunication and lack of communication, I have been targeted as the problem of the situation, which is not true. It's not true at all. And once again, it is what it is. So I had to pan out from the situation and see that the decision that I made had nothing to do with this experience and why it is happening now. This experience has had to come now to show me, to show and prove to me that it is time for me to get very clear, very firm in my decisions for 2026. Because all of 2025 was getting me to the place of stripping me, basically, of old paradigms and self-beliefs and relationships and my need for relationships, certain relationships and the dynamic of those relationships. It was a lot of breaking for me last year. A lot of coming to terms with the fact that where I am going and that woman that I am trying to become and the life that I am passionately trying to create is totally and solely for me. Meaning that I'm going to have to let go of the things and the people, the relationships that I have been clinging to because of my role in those relationships. Self-sovereignty is 2026 for me. Years ago, when I was prophet over at church, God had spoken to me and said that where I was going, my children could not go. That shocked me because my children are all I have. And down through the years, it was over 25 years ago, down through the years, I have seen different places where God's word continually come back to me. And I have to realize that, okay, Asha, where you going, they can't go. That means that you got to go alone. But the last 6 months of 2025 placed this directly in my face. And so everything that I know as my life has been crumbling. Literally crumbling. Every relationship has been crumbling. And even now, as I'm sitting here speaking with you, there is a vision in my mind's eye of what it looks like in wartime. Like there's a battle that I have been fighting, and the battle is almost over, and everything around me has crumbled, and there is nothing but ash and dirt. And as a matter of fact, I wrote a little story about it, and I'll figure out how to post it. Yeah, I'll do that on YouTube because you can put these things up now. Okay, note to self. So anyway, moving forward. So that was the experience, but what is more important than that experience is what happened afterwards. The next morning, I woke up and I cried. I cried hard. I was sitting right here on the side of my bed and really kind of begging God to kind of ease this pain because it hurt so much, and the mental part of it was so heavy. And I was sitting here and I saw Rocky fighting Apollo and how he kept getting hit, and I was sitting here literally verbally saying, this fight is not over until I win. I will, and I guess I was making a declaration to myself and to spirit, to the universe, that I will stand and I will take these hits, but I will not fall. I don't care how bad it gets and how much it hurts. No matter the attacks, the verbal attacks, the energetic attacks, no matter how bad it gets, I will not fall. I will go to my corner and I will regroup and I'll bandage myself as much as I can, and I will still come out. And I might not have the strength to fight back, but I will not fall. And the fight is not over until I win. I'm going to be this woman that I see, and I'm going to live this life that I envision. Period. I win. After I said the last I win, I got a text message. And this is the important part of this experience, is how God, the universe, spirit, surrounded around me and showed me just how important and valuable I am. So as I was sitting here declaring my win, there was such a feeling of love and compassion that kind of wrapped itself around me as I was saying, I win. Then I got a text message from a lady that I met a few months, during the summer, I believe, or maybe it was September, I don't know, but we met on Facebook. And we had a few conversations, but there was a connection. There is a connection. We haven't communicated in some months. But she texted me. And I'm going to read her message to you. She texted, Grand Rising. I was thinking about you. And wanted to remind you that this week, now mind you, this is the day after the experience, the morning after the experience. The experience happened on a Sunday. She texted me Monday morning. I wanted to remind you that this week holds opportunity, clarity, and momentum. Move with purpose, protect your energy, and don't shrink what God placed inside you. Let's win one intentional step at a time. I wasn't going to put this video up because I didn't know how to explain it, the experience. And if I had done that, I would have been shrinking what God placed inside me. So ahead of that, He spoke through her. Do not shrink what God placed inside of you. This week holds opportunity, clarity, and momentum. And by sitting here, sharing my experiences, I have created that clarity, the momentum to keep going, and the opportunity to do what I love to do, which is share. That's what this week, this is what my days are about. And then let's win. So I'm sitting here saying I'm going to win, and here she comes, the girl, let's win. So I took a moment and I sent her a voicemail. voice message about how I was sitting right here crying and declaring my win. And that I just faced something very emotional. Her response to that was, if he brought you to it, he will bring you through it. When it feels like everything is falling apart, just know God is up to something huge. Stay focused, and I'm here. God is up to something big, and that big is destroying everything around me that can no longer go with me. Everything is being exposed. The things that need to move forward in my life with me are being lifted up and shown to me very clearly. And the things that cannot go with me are just crumbling down. So, 2 hours after that, I'm sitting here and I'm journaling and I hear this zzzt, zzzt, and I'm looking around, what is that? And over here in my window, I have an AC unit. You know, the kind you put in your window, you close the window, you put the board up. I have one of those. There was a bee in my window, dying. I was shocked because it was trying to climb up, but it could tell it's ready to die. You know how they get all shriveled up, and it was so sad. And I'm thinking, oh my God, how did you get in here? So I'm trying to figure out how it got in. It's a very, very, very tiny hole, space in between the board and this little thing over here. Tiny, tiny space. And it maneuvered itself in. But it's dying. So me. What does a dying bee in your window represent spiritually? That's what I get excited with stuff like that happens because it's very random. Very random. No bees. It's not bee time. But this one bee managed to make us no coincidences in anything. I will say that forever. So I asked my trusty Google friend, Gemini, what that meant spiritually. And this is the result. Thank you, AI. A dying bee in your window often signifies transformation, the end of an old cycle, inner growth, or a message about community or personal power potentially hitting at an impending change or need for personal development. A single bee dying could highlight individual struggles within a community or a loss of personal power. And that is exactly what took place in that experience and exactly what is going on in my family dynamic. Precisely. While I was having the conversation, my solar plexus got tight and hurt. It was tightening up my chakra, solar plexus chakra, which is where your personal power resides. And the dynamic, the power struggle within my family dynamic is what the last whole 6 months and all these things that I have been experiencing, what has been going on, that is where it has hit me in my community. this is my community. Family, I don't have a community out there. It's this community that we call family. Exactly. What happened? What is happening? And after I helped the bee out, go and die somewhere else. Don't die. Don't die on me. And I sat down and I had to thank God for showing up in this way and giving me what I need to move on. Putting this whole everything in perspective for me and reminding me of my commitment to myself to become what I truly want to become, to have what is truly my right to have. The love and reminding me that beyond all that I can see, beyond all the people in my life, the support and love and acceptance that I have from my unseen team is far greater than anything a human could voice. There's no words that can convey that amount of love and support. That experience, this harsh experience, showed me that number one, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that I am supported in ways that I can't comprehend. And that I am valuable. And that even though I have had to take these hits have been necessary and vital for where I'm going. And I'm sharing this with you to encourage you to stay on your path, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how much it hurts. Stay committed to your growth. Stay committed to your personal sovereignty. Personal sovereignty includes having so much respect, admiration, commitment to who you are as an individual. Committed to your own dreams, your own value, your own desires. You, yourself, the entity you. That you would not sell yourself short by shrinking who you are to please other people. Personal sovereignty. Hold yourself accountable to your own dreams, your own visions, your own decisions. Hold yourself accountable. Don't back down. Keep moving forward. Even if you get to that one round and all you can do is take the hits. Come on, Rocky. Just take the hits. But don't you dare go down. See, because what ended up happening was, I'm seeing this, as long as I stand, I can let the opponent being harsh experiences, hit me until they lose their power and their strength. You know, you could let somebody wear themselves out trying to attack you, and you don't have to lose any strength of your own. Just let it hit you, and you stand. You absorb the punches. You absorb that energy from those punches while the situation, whatever, continually loses its strength by trying to attack you. The fight is not over until you win. Remember that. And I am not saying that it will always be attacks from other people. It could be your finances that just keep spiraling out of control. But you don't spiral with that. You step back and you try to figure out how to right the things that are wrong. Maybe you have to cancel this. Maybe you got to get rid of that. Whatever you have to do, you do. If it's a job that's draining you and is making you feel less than what you are worthy of, hold on to that while you're seeking something else. But don't you dare let this job change you, devalue you, degrade you. And always remember that no experience is by accident. In my desire to become greater, I have to go through these experiences to create the greater within me. Whew. That was deep, heavy, but good. I created it. I created that whole situation. Not because I went out and did anything to create it, but I created it when I said, I want to be her and I want to live like this. So in order for me to get to her, and that place, all the things that are in between have got to be addressed and cleared out of the way. The truth of this relationship, the basis of this relationship that was addressed in this experience had to come out, had to be addressed by me, so that I now know how I need to maneuver, the decisions I need to make to get to where I'm trying to go. Life is clever. And so am I. So are you. Thank you. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for listening. And if anything resonates with you, leave a comment. Like, share, subscribe. Take courage. Take courage. Be courageous. It'll hurt. It'll hurt. But it can't break you unless you choose to be broken. And that's a good thing, because we must be broken in some things, but I'm not talking about that kind of broken. I'm talking about that. Don't stop fighting. Keep pushing towards that next version of yourself. Keep going forward. What'd she say? Let's win one intentional step at a time. There you go. Let's win. All we do is win, win, win. That's what he said in that song. I love you. See you next time.